All right, Jeannine, speak to the world.
Hey.
Let's make sure. Okay, I think everybody should be able to hear her now. It's showing good
Can
on my end. So you guys let
all
me
right.
know. Let me know if you
Uh,
can hear Jeannine, and then we're going to kind of start where we started off there. Because I want everybody to hear kind of what we were talking about. We were talking about that you and I have met before at the drummers luncheon that Shane puts on. It's so awesome. He gets all the drummers in the area to come out once a year
it
for
was
this
a
great,
it was amazing.
yeah,
Amazing.
great annual event. And you're also a drummer and a triple negative breast cancer survivor. And Aquarius is watching right now, and she's also a breast cancer survivor. And that's a very specific niche, isn't it? To be a drummer and a triple negative breast cancer survivor, or just a breast
I
cancer
know,
survivor at
and
all.
three of my musician friends, Tamara King and Aquarius and I, Aquarius a little bit before me, and then it was like, what? And thank God she's a friend of mine. She really helped me out. Aquarius, mwah, love you so much. And she's encouraged me to continue drumming. I don't play a kit, which it might change as soon as this kitchen table's gone. But I play congas and bongos and just about anything that'll make music.
I could
Got a
see,
real,
yeah. I was looking
got a real,
at that stuff behind you. Got some
uh-huh,
of the blocks back there and a
yep,
tambourine, different
yep,
things.
real nice. It's fun.
That's so
It's
awesome.
it's really fun. I started drumming, I guess, 6 years ago, and did it very quietly in my own room, just for my own spiritual whatever,
Right.
because and my granddaughter would dance to it. And finally, I got brave enough to go to a jam session and met Carol Durkin,
Yep.
and yeah, Carol's been amazing. And then started
She's
working.
really awesome, and she's
Yeah,
come to lots of drumathons and performed too. She's really
yeah,
out the
yeah.
scene. It's very cool.
She's very, very supportive, and I know she lost her mother to breast cancer, so God bless her.
Yeah.
And so that's it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I know we're here tonight to talk about triple negative breast cancer because today is actually Triple Negative Breast Cancer Day. Today, March
wow.
the 3rd, each year is Triple Negative Breast Cancer Day. It's where we honor and memorialize those who have struggled with triple negative breast cancer and also just kind of bring knowledge to the general public about
Yes.
triple negative breast cancer because it's not as well known. So, Jeannine, tell me, how did you first find out that you had breast cancer? What led
Well,
up to that?
yeah, very simply, I was had worked outside all day, whatever, got in the shower, and this was about 3 days, 4 days before Christmas, and I went, What is that?" And my right breast just felt different. And in hindsight, I had been sleeping like narcolepsy. I mean, I was just so tired all the time, and that's not like me. And so I knew that just after Christmas, I had my final, Medicare, thank you, Medicare mammogram coming up, and I went, okay, I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to go do my mammogram. I went and did my mammogram. They called me within 4 hours and said, "Can you come back in Monday, January 3rd?" And I said, "No, that's my birthday." I was, no, I can't. And so, but I'll come in the next day. And I knew something was wrong. I hadn't been feeling well. And so it was immediate. They did another mammogram. They did, oops, a sonogram, oops, a biopsy, oops. We know that you have cancer. We just don't know what kind. I sat there with my mouth open going, what? And then within a week, they had me at Texas Oncology, God bless them, with Dr. Concharla. And I was, boom, rocking and rolling. Found out I had triple negative, and then I started just getting into the medical dictionary, getting the help. I joined a Facebook group called Triple Negative, and it was only for stage 1, 2, and 3. I had stage 1, but as we all know, triple negative is extremely aggressive.
Yeah, it's a
Lady,
very scary
yeah,
diagnosis to get.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
86, whatever PSI is what I call it. It just pounds per square inches, it moves. So by the time I got into treatment, I was already 1B, which
Wow.
I think it goes 1A, 1B. And just Jesus, I just started treatment, 12 chemos, 2 weeks off, 12 more, AC Red Devil. I ended up calling it Red Angel. And then went in for, I had the lumpectomy. I was NED and there was no evidence of disease. So I had the lumpectomy. And then after about 4 weeks, I had to go back in and have another lumpectomy because they wanted to get what they call margins. The margins is the outer side of the original tumor where there can be floaters and,
Yeah, it's like whenever
they,
they take a tumor out, then they check the remaining tissue from where the
yes,
tumor was and make sure that there's no cancerous cells in that
yes,
area. And they keep cutting out wider and
keep
wider
cut.
until they don't see any cancer. So they had to go back in and cut out some
Yes.
more.
Yes, they kind of, they tread lightly with me and they said, well, we don't know, we don't know. And I said, hey, let's go in there and get it all. Let's just kill it all. And we did. And then I went into radiation after that healed up a little bit. I think I only had 3 weeks of radiation because he just said, forget it. We did 2 lumpectomies. This girl's, she's frying over here. And at the same time as radiation, I was doing every 6 weeks, I was doing the standalone, what do they call it, Keytruda, and I was part of that protocol. It's no longer in trial, and it's had a good success rate. So I finished that last Thursday. So I am truly a survivor. It can be done. I don't want it to come back. Stay away from me, and I will help and advocate for women's health and just take care of your boobs,
Yeah,
girls,
you've been great at just promoting that and getting the word
Yes,
out. And I think that's one thing that's a really big positive that comes out of going through breast cancer for a lot of women, and that's that you just get this heart for advocacy, and
yes,
you want to help each other out and let people know that there's hope and you don't have to be terrified. There's other people who've been through the same thing before that you can reach out to. There's so many great
yes,
survivor groups on
yes,
Facebook that you
yes,
can chat with and all of that.
right.
So this was not that long ago. You said that you wrapped up treatment last year, right?
No,
Last Thursday.
last Thursday was my last standalone Keytruda.
I got you. I remember you said something. I think you said no evidence of disease. Was that right?
Yeah, that is correct.
On that
I
day.
found that out after the chemo. I had a complete response to the chemo, but then they still require for this Keytruda protocol for triple negative specifically, they still require you to go through the Red Devil, which was, oh my gosh, I was sicker on that than anything. Red Devil with Keytruda, and then of course we had the 2 medicines and the steroids, and we're a mess. I broke out all over my arms because of the Keytruda. I
Can
got
you
into trouble. I got into trouble because I didn't tell my oncologist. I just kind of went, well, I'll deal with it.
Oh no. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
she got
You got a
really
hand
mad.
slap for that. Hey, when you were
I
talking
got a
about
bit.
the Red Devil a second ago, you said you had a lot of side effects from that. Tell us, or you got sick from it. Exactly what happened, if you don't mind sharing.
And not at all. And it's very hard too sometimes because girl, I was riding my bikes 3 days a week. I was doing yoga, I was playing my drums, my granddaughter was here. I have a whole life and I was pretty busy. So I was mad that all this was coming down. And I got set straight on that. I think Aquarius was the one that said, just be mad, but let's be hopeful too.
Right
But
on, right on.
yeah, the Red Devil AC Shamiacin, I believe it's called. It's
Yeah, it's Adrius
Adriacimicin. My doctor said it's a mop-up crew. It just goes in and it permeates all of the breast tissue, and that's before my tumor was even removed to help it shrink even more, along with Keytruda every 3 weeks, and then all of the nausea medicines. And the fatigue is what really made me so sick. I couldn't clean my house. I just couldn't even, I couldn't even cry. I was so tired. And that's what really upset me because April, I'm a real strong headed woman. I could drag my own drums
Heck
around,
yeah, yes, us drummers
open
have
my
to
own
be.
doors, and I got
Right,
a pickup truck.
right.
But it was very, very hard for me to ask for help.
Yeah,
Very hard.
I gotcha.
And once again, Aquarius and all her infinite wisdom, we had some really good chats about that. And she said, you got to get help. because I wasn't eating, I wasn't drinking my water. Another thing, and it's still prevalent in me, is dehydration. You just got to hydrate with anything. I love my coffee, but water, orange juices, anything to keep hydrated, because this chemo medicine it's poison. That, it's poison.
Yeah,
It's
that
it
is one
it
thing that they
it's
really tell you to do hardcore is drink a
mhm.
lot of water. And I mean, drinking a lot of water, whether you're going through chemo or not, is a really good thing to be doing for sure.
Yes. Well, I mean, I work outside for a living. I own a tree trimming business for 40 years, and I know how to hydrate. But this was beyond, where the minute I would drink 6 ounces, I would, 5 minutes later, I'm just thirsty. I also, a lot of women don't do this during their treatments. They don't realize they're dehydrated until you have a fainting episode, or you walk in and one of the nurses looks at you and goes, have you been drinking water? And just, you can ask for extra hydration. You can ask for a big liter of drip. Now, they normally give you that when you're doing your chemo, but not when you're on the acemitra, the red devil.
Idriosomycin,
And
yeah.
yeah, they would give it to me. I'd walk in, I'd go, I
Give me
need some
the
hydro.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Yeah, I've never heard of that. So you can ask
Yes,
them,
extra.
you were able to ask them to add that on whenever you were getting
Yes,
your
I said
chemo.
it's paid for. It's part of your, if I've got Medicare and I've got supplemental insurance, which I purchased earlier last year, and thank God, I have not put any money out except for, well, all of my medications. I had to buy most of those myself. The prescriptions that they were giving us, on the side and stuff like that. But yeah, I can't say that I came through with flying colors, but by gosh, I'm cancer free.
Yeah. I mean, did you ever actually physically get sick, like throw up or have any
No,
diarrhea or
no,
anything like that, or mouth sores
no.
or
And
anything?
I will tell you, I actually asked her, because nobody likes to be sick. I don't like to be dizzy. I was dizzy a lot, but she told me, my oncologist told me, there is absolutely no reason for anyone going through cancer treatment, including you, include triple negative, any kind of breast cancer, that's taking chemo, to have side effects of nausea. Now, you may be you'll be drowsy, but no physical throwing up on my end.
Yeah, that's like a really old school thing. Like, remember in the 80s, like that was like the
Oh,
movies would
people were,
show people just
yeah,
throwing up, but now they have such amazing anti-nausea
amazing. And
medicine
so
that you're on. Yeah.
she told me, the minute you get the least bit nauseated, let me know,
Yeah.
because there's no side effects to this. I put on 20 pounds. I mean, I'm a rocking 130, and now I'm 152, which is fine. Put on a little meat, but instead of losing weight, I was actually gaining weight. And I think
Yeah. Yeah, the
steroids,
steroids, that happened to me too. You get like swollen and you're just also eating more. I was eating a lot more. Like I was
yeah,
just kind of like
tons.
whatever tasted well, I would try that.
Yes,
I just do that because a
yes,
lot of things didn't taste good. So, well, that's good. I mean, you had a lot of good anti-nausea medication. You had a lot of like a regimen of medication to help keep you well, but you're right. The
yeah.
fatigue is one thing. They just can't do anything about that.
No, it was all about sleeping. I had a very, very good friend, Sandy Steppen, who Taylor, I've known her since high school. She said, well, I can't do much because I work at home, but I can take you and I can pick you up every time you have to go to Baylor Scott White, which is really bicycle distance. And she did that for the entire year and 2 months. And then, of course, I rang that bell. I rang every bell there was to ring.
Yeah.
I brought my own bell.
You had bells
Oh, more
behind your car
cowbell.
like you just got married. You're just like,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
more cowbell. And it's just, and without those, you know, people in my life, I feel very hard. I have a hard, not a hardened heart. I have a deep yearning to make sure that the women who need comfort, a friend, not someone just to say, oh, be a warrior, because yes, that's wonderful. But you know what? This is not fun. And these women need someone to cry to. And then we need to help dust each other off, lift each other up, and get the resources. You and I talked a lot about the resources, the financial strain. I mean, girl, I couldn't work. It was a 120 last year, and outside the temperature, and I work outside for a living. So I was busted. I had money problems, and they had a special thing at the at a bar. Geez, what's the name of it? Oh, Aquarius. Type that in. Keep forgetting.
I'll let you know when she
But
does.
yeah, they had a wonderful auction for Aquarius and I and Tamara that got us, you know, $5,000 total, or $2,500 a piece. I got some help from two other organizations that paid my mortgage, and that's another thing I think you and I talked about a little bit too, is trying to get an organization that would kind of bring all
Yeah.
these arms of this tree
Right,
together.
right. That's I've had
Mhm.
conversations with two different people from two different nonprofits talking about that exactly, because there are a lot of like breast cancer awareness nonprofits, but each of us does a little something different. And when we all
Yes.
kind of work together, we can make sure everybody has all the resources that they need. I think that
Yes,
is
and I
super
know
important.
you're pretty much, you're not just Texas, you're kind of all over. So,
Yeah, I mean,
you
we did
know,
our support group on Facebook, the Survivors
yeah,
Rock group. It's from all over. Whenever we're supporting research and trials, it's local in Dallas, but it does have an effect everywhere. You know what I mean?
yes,
Like
yes, it
any
does.
research and development does for sure.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
does. And emotionally, it's wonderful to know that women are out there. And I think that was, you know, that's my calling now. Just before my cancer diagnosis, I was about 3 years taking care of my mom, who passed away at 90 years old. She was amazing, lived 3 doors down. And my granddaughter moved in with me. And then, you know, ooh, the big winds came. I was diagnosed with cancer, and it was like, okay, what now? How strong am I going to have to be? And that's when, you know, I just kind of went into a little bit of a depression. I did ask my oncologist, you know, I'm having these anxiety attacks, which I don't have. If I start feeling anxiety attack, I get on my bike, my bicycle, or I do yoga, or I'll hit my drums. But this was something I'd never experienced. And then in the evening, I was staying up all night, and you know, it was relentless. And when we got a little, started tweaking a little bit of medication, and that's another thing that I hear on Facebook on my other group, triple negative group, is that, you know, people have lost hope, and what am I going to do? And I hope this isn't a stupid question. And, you know, no question is too stupid.
no, not at all. No,
Cancer is new to all of us,
yeah.
you know, unless you've had it before. And,
Well, that's why
you know, I was,
those groups are so important to have those different areas, especially specialized like certain stage groups or certain type like triple
yeah.
negative breast cancer. Having those groups to be able to go to and share
Yeah,
stories is
God
super
bless all of
excellent.
our
Yeah,
women and men who haven't made it. It's a terrible disease. There's a lot of studies. What I think it's 10% of all breast cancers are triple negative.
that's right. Yeah,
I mean, what are the odds? You know, I
right.
wasn't BRCA. There's
Me either. Yeah.
no cancers in my family. You know, I guess well bred, and I don't abuse alcohol or prescription drugs or anything like that. So it's kind of like, why me, Lord? But you know, why not me? If I can become an advocate and continue to help women.
Well, that's yeah,
There's a
that's exactly what we were talking about, earlier, is just being able to be an advocate after going through
uh,
something so scary. By the way, I got to interrupt that Aquarius says it was Pearl's Cherokee.
thank you, Aquarius, Pearls, Cherokee. What the wonderful owner there, Lisa Parker, just outdid herself. It was a wonderful time, and I was so sick. I felt I could only stay for about 45 minutes. I drove myself there and said, you know, just get me home. But it was wonderful, and that money went absolutely to paying my truck and my mortgage. I was very, very grateful, just very humbled at the love that she put out. And I think that's one thing that not just women who are going through cancer, but there's so many warriors out there, and I think they're the ones that are fighting for us. We are hopefully become survivors, but having those women out there, and those men too, because I know you have a lot of people on your ticket that really help. And you know, I've never been to a drumathon,
I
so
know you have to come, and we did.
yeah, well, you know,
I
I
was
can
just.
join the
I
band.
know. I was.
Everybody,
I was thinking
Everybody
that we
needs a
need I
percussionist.
know. I was thinking we need to have like a percussion set up there for you or
Yeah,
anybody else. And
I
I've
come
got
in and
I've
sit
got
in.
bongos. I don't know. They're behind me here. I've got bongos and congas here and other stuff. But yeah, we should consider that would be a really cool
That would be
addition.
awesome.
So
I've just never
go.
been. Last year I wanted
You're
to go,
coming
but
this year. I'm gonna hassle you. And
absolutely.
Aquarius too, because she's all good
Yes,
now and she's gotta
absolutely.
come.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, Carol's there all the time, and
I
I
know.
think Aquarius wasn't feeling good either. We
Yeah.
both kind of were typing to each other and decided that you want to go and you want to represent, and it's just very difficult. So,
Yeah, no, I totally understand. But
but
this year you're
I'm
gonna have
getting my
a
mojo
Uber.
back. I'm still drinking a lot of water. I've been playing a little bit. Went into the studio with a good friend of mine and cut some originals with him, and that's bringing me back to life. But once again, this fatigue still, you know, it's still prevalent. So
So what's in store for you in the future? How often are you seeing your oncologist now?
I well, for right now, I see her in a couple of months. I think I go back to see my radiologist just because I don't know why. I guess he wants to check the scarring and stuff, which I have very little. I and just that's all I know. I did go back and get another mammogram, which came back clear, and I rang that bell too. There was one in the hallway, and I said, "I'm ringing."
Any
So
bell
I,
around, beware.
yeah, yeah, and
Jeannine's
then I'm
coming
just
through.
yeah, exactly. Get out my way, and I'm just doing a few other things to get my stamina back. One of the worst side effects of all of this being gone is neuropathy in my feet. So I'm seeing, and the neuropathy, if you don't know what it is, just a tingling, constant tingling, and also a numbing.
Yeah, it's like it's a nerve damage,
Yeah,
and sometimes with chemo you can get that, and it can
most of the
sometimes
time they say.
it can be temporary or it can be permanent. It just depends. So describe. You
Well,
said for you it was a tingling and a numbness. Do you have any
it,
burning or pain at all?
yes, burning and pain,
All
and
of
I
it.
I was having trouble sleeping. My feet were twitching because they just hurt. A really good foot massage helps, and strong hands help, but it got to where I was not getting any better. We actually went through my doctor's physical therapy, and it didn't help. I went, oh my gosh, I invested, twice a week for 5 weeks, and it did nothing. So I found a woman that does. She's a certified chiropractor, but she also specializes in uh, pro health for muscular nerve damage, regeneration. So we're doing several things. I'm standing on a vibrating machine. I'm getting shock therapy. I'm getting a liver cleanse, because your liver's got a lot to do with this. Chemo is just in every,
Is
part of
this
our body.
like a holistic
Yeah, yeah,
type
well,
of
it's more,
place you're
yeah,
going to?
it's medically. I've seen, boy, I've seen her board of, she's got a bell too, by the way. I've seen her board of people, and I've talked to several of them that are successfully healed from the neuropathy, or at least partially. And I'm taking a supplement that cleans the liver, so it's not really holistic, it's natural, and it's really getting your immune system strong enough. But it's also re-stimulating those nerve endings. When I went in, I had 53% less blood flow to my feet. And
Wow, that's
now,
crazy.
I've got 50, 60, 70, 75% of return blood flow.
That's
So
awesome. And is it
with
feeling
that,
better too? Like, are you
yes,
totally feeling
yes,
better? You can
yes, I'm
feel a big
able to
difference.
sleep. They still bother me, and you really have to moisturize your feet and your body too, because chemo kind of dry. I think I call it blood sucker. It dries your skin out. I know it did mine. And of course, with staying hydrated, we still have to put on moisturizer. So, um, by the way, Mary Kay is a wonderful person, a wonderful organization that supports breast cancer awareness. They've donated tons of stuff to the hospitals. Everywhere I go, Mary Kay is. So shout out to whoever's a
Yeah,
Mary
I
Kay
think
person
I think
there.
that they also work with Look Good, Feel Better, which is a program
Yes.
through American Cancer Society. So I remember getting a lot of free cosmetics through them back then
Yeah.
too. It's
And,
very
and that's
cool.
important because, girl, you
Yeah,
know us. I didn't wear any makeup for an entire year and a half. You know, I just came as I was kind of thing. So
Yeah, I mean, you're just getting through it, and
yeah.
like those kinds of things don't matter as much at the moment, right?
No, they don't. But you
Yeah.
know, when I've worn earrings every day of my life, I think, and when you forget to put on your earrings, it's kind of, so I just started to where I could feel good enough to get out and dress
Yeah.
out and
Yeah.
go out a little bit. I'm back working and back supporting other people with cancer, and I'm able to give some money back, because I'm making money again, and that's just going to be, it's not going to be who I am, because I think all of us are so multifaceted, especially being a musician. There's other things you want to do, but I think my heart and my eyes are going to be peeled on helping women and get through this, especially cancer, because it is nothing to do alone. And I know there's got to be somebody out there that needs
Oh,
to
yeah. There's
stick it
a
to
lot.
cancer.
Yeah, I know exactly, Jeannine. Dude,
I love that.
I freaking love your energy and would love to chat with you more about all those ideas and different things that you
Absolutely.
want to do. Because I mean, obviously, I have a heart for this too. Like, this is my whole life's calling. It's just I
Yeah,
want to put
yes, it has
everything to.
become that, hasn't it? You and your
Yeah,
red hair. You
I
notice
know.
I used to have long, long,
I
wild
know.
hair,
Yeah, yeah.
and now it was never curly like this ever. It was just wavy, and it was actually getting on my nerves. It was too much hair, and it was hot, and I had to always wear a helmet because tree business and blah blah blah. And when it came off, a lot of my friends said, "Dang, you're whacking that bald head." I never,
That's
I
so
never.
cool.
It felt so free,
Yeah,
and
didn't it? I know. See, it's cool to be
no
able to
more
look at it like
product.
that. Yeah, you don't have to worry about a thing. You just towel off
Oh,
your head. You're good to go.
the joys of being bald.
I
And
know.
then it has come in like ringlets. My granddaughter helps me put the mousse in it because she likes to do these little
I
ringlets.
think it's cute. It looks good.
Yeah.
Mine came
This
out curly too, so I remember this exact look that you've got going on, man.
what
It looks
what
good.
what so do you do a blowout or something, or
Now when it got a lot longer, it just lost the
yeah.
curl. So the curl went
Yeah.
away. So yeah, yeah. But like right away when I started growing out, it was totally tight curls all the way around. It's crazy. Well, I want to wrap up because there's a few people here who may have joined late. Just want to let everybody know that Jeannine is here. Triple negative breast cancer survivor, had stage 1B. She's doing great. She's been NED, so no evidence of disease for a little while now. Finished all of her treatments, and she's ready to go back and bring some rock and roll drumming to the world. And hope we can get you out
Absolutely.
to Drumathon this year. Would love that. And so I think we probably covered this, but in case you had another thing you want to add, what else could you think of that you feel was a positive result of going through breast cancer?
Oh. It taught me to ask for help and to take help when offered, and not, I mean, truly, because like I said, I was pretty independent, and it's not that I didn't need help. I just didn't need help. I was taking care of my mama. I had a very, very active life. And when this came down, I literally went out in the backyard and fell in the grass and just said, okay, God, walk me through this. And I really do think what I heard him tell me was, okay, you can lean on me, but you're going to have to lean on people who have already been here. I can't teach you everything about this. So, number one, educate yourself of what you have. Take the doctor's advice, but start turning to your sisters and brothers and ask for help. And that was hard. So I think that's taught me to be a little easier on myself, not to have such great expectations. Um, you know, one foot in front of the other. I mean, my goodness, one day at a time. It's just one day at a time anyway.
No, I
For
love that.
anything, it's one
Yeah.
second at a time. I think our mortality is really, when I walked into that room and they had to put needles in me, there were times that, I mean, I was going by Catherine medically, Catherine Cumming. And I think I did that because I didn't want to be Jeannine. I didn't want to be Jeannine with breast cancer. I could be Catherine with breast cancer. And the other day at this meeting I went to, I finally said, "Oh, by the way, don't call me Catherine. My name is Jeannine."
And you
And
finally just accepted.
and so I
Yeah.
finally accepted that no, it was Jeannine who had cancer,
Yeah.
and And I think all of that's real important to really, we all have faults. One of my faults is I can do it by myself. I'll never forget my son saying, "You're not the boss of my body. I can do it myself." And I was the same way. I just that's it. Truly, that's
Yeah.
probably the best thing that came out of it
There's always
was learning.
there's always something positive that comes out of it. I swear. Every time I talk to
Mhm.
anybody, there's something. Even in the worst scenarios, there's something. If not just perspective. Um,
Yeah, well, I'm choosing survival mode,
yeah.
and happy to be alive, very, very thankful and grateful and all those positive things, and hope that, I can continue to be of help. And I'd love to be a part of your organization, however I can help too. Being a drummer, hell, I'd like to take drum lessons from you,
Dude,
frankly.
come over next week. I swear, I would love it. We would have a blast. We should just get all the
Yeah,
girls.
I've only sat down at a kit one
I
time, and
I
it was at
got
a
I got 2 kits right behind me. I'm ready. So we'll
Yee!
we'll have you over, Aquarius. We'll have a great time. Maybe we'll do it with Lori Peters is in town. That'd be
Oh,
cool. Maybe we
awesome.
could do
Yeah.
that. We'll get Carol over here. We'll just have like a jam. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? I would
Yes,
I would
yes, it
love
was. A
that.
matter of fact, I had asked Carol for lessons, and this was 2 months before I was diagnosed.
Uh-huh.
And I think I didn't talk to her for a couple of months. I said, "Oh, by the way, I won't be doing drum lessons. I've got some things coming up," and then confided in her. We're a member. You need to be a member of Texas Women in Music.
I'm in that group, Carol's group. She started
Oh,
that one. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I'm just quiet these days because things are crazy. Hey, listen, I got 5 minutes before Dr. O's gonna be here, so I want to wrap up a
Thank
couple
you.
things. But this is important, Jeannine. Somebody wants to know the name of your tree company.
It is called Tree Artistry, Tree Service, just Tree Artistry.
That's
And
awesome.
I guess that's because I'm an artist and I used to see things in trees. Actually, when I was little, I would say, "Hey, look at that. It looks like something, looks like a face." And so I named it Tree Artistry. And this is my 41st year in business.
Wow, congratulations.
I
That's amazing.
I climbed trees and used a chainsaw for many, many years. And now I just point and I do
Yeah, there you
customer
go.
service, but I'll come and do discounted work for all my sisters that are going through this, because I know that, heck, I had a group that came in and cleaned my house. I've got a friend in the window washing. My windows haven't been done in 3 years, 2 years, ridiculous. So he's coming this week to do it. And had the lasagna lady come up. I mean, these were things that I didn't even know existed. And one other point, if you have a nurse navigator,
Oh, so
you just
important.
pull her in and hug her and love her. There were so many things that Lori did for me with my confidence building and getting me funding. You use that nurse navigator wherever you're getting your treatment.
Amen on that. All right, I got a couple more things I just want to read to you real quick, and then we're gonna have to jet and get ready for Dr. O here coming up next. So
Thank you.
I want to say that Bethany says that she loves your curly hair, and
Thank you, Betty.
thank you for sharing, and congratulations on ringing that bell. And Aquarius says, Jeannine, come with me to Drumathon.
Yeah, you got it. You got it,
She
Aquarius.
also says
Woo!
you are a rock star survivor. So man, Jeannine, thank you so much. I want to let everybody know that this interview will be up on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/breast cancer can stick. No it because it was too long for YouTube. youtube.com
Oh,
slash breast cancer can stick, and you can watch the replay of this, and it will also be here on our Facebook. So Jeannine, thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to talk to
oh,
you again
thank
really
you.
soon. Okay.
You betcha.
Let's
Thank you
do that
so
jam.
much.
Let's do that jam soon, okay?
Let's see that what?
Let's do that jam soon. Look at you. That's awesome. That rocks,
Peace.
man. Cool. Take care, girl. All right,
Bye-bye.
everybody, give it up for Jeannine. That's so awesome, man. So grateful to have had her on the show this evening.